Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, May the 5th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Hope you guys had a great day today. Today was a pretty slow day here. We had the lowest volume in the S&P since like back in February, early February. But aside from that, low volume today, so you really can't take today's action with much conviction here. You really want to see what happens tomorrow going forward. All right, if we take a look here, let's go ahead and start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session here. The Dow Jones was down about 5 points. The Nasdaq was up a little over 14 points, and the S&P 500 was up a little over 3 points. If we take a look at the breadth on the markets today, we had 3,553 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. We had 2,488 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the AMEX. So therefore, breadth was in favor of the bulls today. But again, today was a low volume day, pretty much a mixed broad market across the different sectors here. Had some strength with the financials, had a little bit of strength in the technology sector, had some weakness in the healthcare, the utilities, the consumer goods. We did have some decent action in the basic material sectors and across some of those precious metals and some of those energy companies. So we'll see. It was pretty much a day to look around and see what was showing relative strength, what was showing relative weakness, and you were able to find some pockets of relative strength, such as these Chinese stocks, Baidu, Sina, Sohu, all making nice moves to the top side today. We'll take a look at those later on in the video. But let's go ahead and jump into the charts here, starting off with the triple Qs. Triple Q's closing the session at $72.40 here, up 28 cents, up 0.39%. You can see this getting a little bit extended from the short-term moving averages that we are gapping and going here. A slight gap today and go. A big gap and go from Friday's action from the employment numbers. All right, so we would like to see a little bit of a pullback action here. I would think back towards these 71.50s or so, but again, just stick with the trend. We have to take it on a day-to-day basis, but the triple Qs are making a nice move higher, and they're going to have some resistance. The next major level of resistance on the triple Qs is around, again, ever since we broke past that 50% retracement from the tech bubble sell-off, the 61.8% is around 82, which would be the next target, which means, if we continue to trend higher, the triple Qs, their target's going to be up there towards 80, which is obviously up about $8 high, which is close to 9% or so, close to 10%. All right, but again, that's obviously not going to happen overnight. We want to wait and see what happens. If I show you guys again the monthly chart on the triple Qs, we are above the 50% Fibonacci retracement from the tech bubble sell-off that happened right back here in 2000, 2002. So the next target, again, isn't really to lurk around this 82 level, all right, which also gives us space because we do have all the space that we could fill if we continue trending higher here. And that's why we have to go back and look at some of these technology stocks and look at some stocks in the NASDAQ to see how we can capitalize on those opportunities there. So that's how the triple Qs are looking. Let's go and take a look at the take a look at the NQ as well, because I wanted to show you guys from our call that we made on Thursday going into the jobs number how the NASDAQ futures on our channel system had this nice little channel here, and once we broke the top of that channel, that most don't see because most people are looking at this stuff at an angle. I mean, at a horizontal basis, but we look at things in channels, so we are able to see a little bit things. We're able to see these moves a little bit faster before other people notice the action based on our analysis. And you can see here we broke the top of the channel, and we have that nice momentum starting to come in. As you guys know, whenever you break a top of an upward slope channel, all right, you usually get that momentum move, and then you get a little pullback action at the top of the channel holds. You usually get that blast off. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. Just keep in tune with the videos, and we'll go from there. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500, starting off with the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF. SPY closed up 41 cents today, closing at 161.78. Remember, S&P's making new all-time highs, so the least path of resistance is to the top side. Therefore, the level you want to watch on the SPY here is 162. If we can hold above 162, then you want to watch 162 half, 163, kind of like a lockstep in the 50-cent increments there. Until we get some type of resistance level to work off of. Until then, I mean, we're just going to be carving out new resistance levels on an intraday basis until we build some type of resistance, And as far as support goes, we have this nice level of support to work off of now around 159.71. Prior resistance now should act as support like it did. Actually, I think this is a false little tick down there, but prior resistance should act as support. So in the short term, we want to watch this 159.71 level if we do get some back and fill action a bit here in the coming days or coming weeks. But aside from that, moving averages are curving up here. Short-term moving averages are showing us that there is some momentum in the market. Obviously not today because the volume was pretty quiet and low. But in the coming days, we got to see how these moving averages catch up to price and go from there. But again, now that we made new highs, let's see what the market can do and see what sectors and stocks want to start leading the way. What sectors and stocks that had been leading, they want to pull back and get a little gauge in the market. Not too excited about doing anything up here, as that's what the tape is telling you. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the IWM. The Russell 2000 was a little bit was lagging a bit today, but was able to catch some fire underneath it later on, come mid-session here, and like I say, around 11:30, it started getting another lift up there and made it back up towards the highs. But we'll see. IWM here making. Did it make new highs here today? IWM made new highs by 3 cents and continues to move higher. Again, volume was pretty low. All right, but we are back above that key 92.70 level that we've been tracking here from our little price resistance zone. All right, and we are back above this 95 level. If we could hold above 95, 94.50, that would be a pretty good sign. All right, we may need to consolidate a bit here after this big gap up from Friday, and as some people are, well, most people, are not interested in buying these higher prices up here. But at the same time, if the market continues to trend higher, then and you're looking for some profits or some returns, on your investment, you got to get in the market somehow, or you got to try to figure out, you got to pick a spot to get involved in the trend. And right now, obviously, if you run out long from last week, Wednesday or so, or from Friday, you kind of want to let the market tell you what it wants to do. Wait for it to tell you what it wants to do. All right, so we'll see. IWM is making new highs here. You want to work off of those levels I just gave you guys, the 94, 95 area. All right, as long as we can hold above 94, that would be pretty good. Again, we're above these short-term moving averages right here, right there, so everything's still looking pretty fine and dandy. But that's how the IWM's looking. Let's go ahead and take a look at that dollar futures chart that we've been tracking pretty close with you guys here. All right, the price action in the dollar. Dollar has been, holding a little bit around here. We did break that little downward channel. We broke out. We back test held, and we are back above that 82 level. So that's the level that we're watching right now, this key 82 level. If we try to make a move back up here towards these 83.25s, we definitely want to see the price action in stocks and see how they react to that move if that does happen. All right, we had a little bit of weakness in the euro today. All right, let's take a look at that euro dollar real quick. Hopefully you guys had a great day. We didn't do much in the chat room today. We were able to catch a little bit of scalps in the E-minis. Caught some scalp trades in U.S. Steel and VMW, and a couple of lows was also on our radar. So we had some decent intraday trades, but again, really not much going on today, folks. Euro trading sideways in this little range right here between 129.88 and 132. And we got to see how this resolves. All right, is this euro going to, when this euro does break out this range, it's definitely going to give us some good opportunities to make some profits in the markets, whether it be going long or short the euro, or whether it be going long or short the equity markets, or finding something that's going to move off of this price action that's going on in the euro. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, the euro is trading sideways. All right, dollar's trying to hold a bid. All right, if we take a look at the volatility index, which got smashed down pretty hard on Friday. You can see the VIX was down again today, 19 cents. Continues to be no fear in the market. We're below this 1350 level. We continue to hold below 13. You can expect this VIX to start just creeping its way lower. I would say back down towards 11. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. So let's go ahead and jump into some stock charts here. Starting off with some of the strong stocks from today's session. Apple Computers up 2.38%, making a nice move to the top side today here. Apple was up $10.73. We are at the 100-day simple and exponential moving average. Again, we are coming all the way from this 385 level or so, all the way to 460. So you want to be careful if you're buying Apple right here. We are also above this key trend line from this little pivot high to this little pivot high. So I would say if we can hold above that little trend line right there and Apple keeps on catching the bid, it's probably going to continue floating higher, but it's still not at your advantage in your favor, all right, to buy it right here if you miss the entries that they gave you all the way back down here below 420. So keep that in mind, folks. Do not go chasing this stock. What else? Bank of America was strong today, up 5.23%. Goldman Sachs had a nice move today. We'll take a look at these banks, these financials. Caught a bid again here today. Nice volume in Bank of America. And this thing is going on its way to make new 52-week highs. Okay, this stock is back at the 2000, stock's back at the 2011 levels here before it sold off underneath 13 all the way to a low of 5. We're back. The stock, man, if you've been trading Bank of America for the past 2 years or so, I mean, it's definitely been giving you some ranges here if you're a swing trader. Trying to hold some of these, trying to catch some of these little volatile price movements that you get on these charts here. But in any case, Bank of America is looking pretty good. All right, you can see this little action we had right here, move off the lows, little sideways, little pullback action right there. You should be looking for a nice expansion move up here towards 1350 short-term target based off of that price pattern we have right there. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, so you had this nice little up move, a little pullback action. We should be looking for that extension right there up towards that 1350 level. I like Bank of America. Nice volume today compared to where the volume was at in the market. Pretty much gone. Looks like most of the volume was in Bank of America. Goldman Sachs, another trade that's setting up here, especially the markets move higher. You have a nice little downward bullish channel that you could draw on the chart here. All right, I know I have some of my drawings in the chart, so bear with me, but you can see it. This is your top resistance trend line. This is your bottom trend line resistance. All right, we pulled back. We held that 50-day midline right there, and if we could break over 149.20 or so, break over 150, we should see this thing start moving up. This is a nice pattern. Same pattern that you had right here in Halle Berry, a.k.a. Halliburton. We call it Halle Berry on the trade desk. But Halliburton, same type of pattern here. All right, nice little downward channel. I gave you guys a Halliburton back when it was at around 40.93 or so. It's now at 43, but this is a pattern. Downward channel. All right, this one's at a slight angle. Got the break, you got the back test hold, and now you have the continuation. This is our bread and butter play. All right, and that's what we look for. So Goldman Sachs, again, nice price action in Goldman Sachs today. Morgan Stanley was strong. These brokerage companies are trading pretty decent today. Goldman Sachs, we're going to be watching this one in the coming days here to get some follow-through action. Take a look at the 60-minute chart. 60-minute chart is bull flagging a bit here. Was not able to, break out today off this little early bull flag formation that was happening, so it faded a bit today. May need some more time, but keep an eye on Goldman Sachs. Again, it has the same pattern that Halliburton had, and you can see what happens when these downward channels break the top side. They start moving pretty nice. All right, Morgan Stanley, another stock that had some nice price action in the name today. A couple of traders in the desk were trading this name here from early morning. And you can see this one looks like the next target is back up here towards these highs up here around 24.50. It closed at 23.28, hit a high 23.50, so it still has about $1 in it before it gets to the next resistance level. So you want to keep an eye on that, Morgan Stanley. All right, what else do we have going on today? Some other good-looking stocks that we discussed in the weekend review video, all right, is Lowe's. Take a look at Lowe's, LOW. Stocks breaking out of this nice little triangle that I showed you guys over the weekend here. Nice continuation today. Very strong stock. All right, these are the patterns you want to look for, right? These stocks that are that have been showing some nice strength through the year and that are kind of coiling up right now. You want to be able to catch that nice momentum move with that volume increasing there. 3 consecutive higher closes. This one is breaking out of a nice little range on the weekly, and this one should be a nice performing stock for the quarter. If everything stays the same, this one looks pretty good. Obviously, you do not want to buy it off this big expansion candle that it had today. But if you were watching it, if you watch our videos and you paid attention, you were getting paid today. All right, we had a couple of traders take this trade on the desk today, and they made out pretty well. Because if you take a look at the 15-minute chart, all right, the stock was a power trend stock after, what time is this here? After 115, this thing just had a buy program on it. They were just buying it, buying it, buying it. A sympathy play off for that, Home Depot. Of course, it's competition. Let's see what Home Depot did today. Home Depot was up $1.30. All right, and this one's looking good as well, making new all-time highs. Nice, strong, powerful trend on the monthly, the weekly, and it's not stopping right now. All right, so some action in these home improvement stores, some action in some of the retail names. AIG had some follow-through action today here. AIG closed the session up. Let's see how much AIG closed the session up here. 96 cents. Nice follow-through day today from Friday's action. And stick with the trend on this one. This one's still looking pretty good. All right. This one's still looking pretty good. Take a look at a couple of the home builders, Toll Brothers. And Toll Brothers, little nothing going on there. A little pause day there. Let's take a look at Lennar. Just going through a couple of names, guys. See how they're looking. Lennar, same thing there. And KBH, probably the same thing there. We did have some decent action in KBH there. All right, KBH again. This one's making new 1, 2. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This thing's making new 4-year highs. All right, so KBH, some momentum in that name as well. And that home builder looking pretty nice there. We did have some traders on the desk today trading SNDK. One of our guys called that out earlier in the morning. That thing had some nice momentum into the name. So SNDK, SanDisk, keep an eye on this one. This one held 51, right here. Nice little double bottom action. And now it's trying to break and hold above these 54 halves. So keep an eye on this name here. Definitely had some nice buys in there today. Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart. And just grind it higher a bit there today. What else? There was one more thing I want to talk about here. Oh, yeah, Tesla. Tesla Motors. My guy that trades right behind me called this one out. This one, nice, strong momentum name. If I believe I watched the video online, some guys were talking about trying to get short this thing against its high, and you can see what happened, and they're stopped out. Stock squeezing the shorts out still. And they have earnings this week, so keep an eye on this one, all right, on the 8th, which is on Wednesday. All right, this one looks like it could be a very interesting stock going into the numbers. Aside from that, folks, hope you guys had a great day. Make sure you join us in the chat room, mywallstreettv.com, to get the password to log in. You have to go to wallstreettrading.com, fill out the form on the right-hand side. 4 little quick spaces. Fill them out, your name, your email address, and you will get the credentials sent for the chat room. You want to check us out. We've been nailing the market left and right. Some good trades in there, and join us. Have a great night, folks. Cheers.